I'm playing, dude. I'm still doing that. It's on. Or a stone cold, or yeah, like it's like 2 warnings, and then on the third warning, it's like, oh, death. Death. It's like, it's good because it's
Hey, that,
I'm not really. Thank you.
Good evening here from Decatur, Georgia's McAllister Field on the campus of Agnes Scott College. It's open weekend, Austin Sports Coverage of time for your Syracuse Georgia
They don't talk about
Monday. We have an exciting contest, a weekend match. Just your thoughts on
Yeah, Macaulay, I'm super excited. It's the start of 2025. It's a beautiful day. Birds are singing, the sun is out. I'm really excited to see some great ultimate. They want to be efficient for this on offense. Number one, they want to find one fun. They want to get points on the board. They want to execute their system position on offense and defense. And on defense, they want to, get blocks by being smart and being aggressive. Of course, they would love to make it back to where they got last season. Of course, they made it to the semifinals. Championship weekend, ended up losing to New York Gridlock, the eventual champions. But they're going to take it, one game at a time.
And then some key players kind of to watch here for this one. I know we were circling some names. Anyone really stand out to you from what the coaches said?
Of course. So they want to highlight Carly Garrett. She's going to be all over the field and will be definitely on the stat sheet, both in assists and goals. And then MC Robbins, she's coming back. Sorry, I misspoke. I apologize. Sarah Downing is coming back off an injury. Couldn't play much last season, so they're really excited for her to jump back in and be a huge part of this Austin Torch squad.
Awesome. And then for the Atlanta Soul, some names to kind of look for and watch in this live forward. We heard with Rock of this offense
Definitely.
looking to make some noise here today.
Totally awesome. Yeah, I actually played club with Liv this past season. Me and her are super tight, and she really is an amazing player. That flick hook that she's got, she's going to go cone to cone today for sure.
So as we are awaiting just minutes away here from opening PUL, beautiful weather here today. We've had to shout out, Agnes Scott College for being the new home of the Atlanta Soul this season, as well as
Number 10, Gabby Quina. Number 12, Annie Ortiz. Number 14, Emma Berrigan.
as we await the starting lineups, you'll see
Number 16,
the Austin Torch in their whites and the Atlanta Soul in their dark jerseys.
Little acrobatics by the Austin Torch there. Very nice.
Number 31, Nikki Gilbert.
Okay, let's pause for a second. We're gonna.
Number 33, Brenda Oriana. Number 34, Carly Garrett. Number 42, Mag Duffy.
Okay. No.
Number 69, Jamie Esty. Number 73, Clara Stewart.
Sorry, folks, if you're a little experiencing some sound issues. We'll make sure to keep calling some action as it comes to you on our screen. Still going through the starting lineups right now here for both squads. Like I said, joined in the booth here with Matt Fazzolero out of Caliande. We're just stoked and ecstatic here for this game. Ready for some big highlight plays and, just wanting a good contest from both sides.
Definitely, yeah.
Number 1, Charlie Hawkins.
Okay, thank you.
Number 4, Corey
We're all set.
Green.
Let's redo y'all's introductions and we'll come back to them while they finish doing this. Just
Number
say sorry
5,
for the
Megan
issues
Jarrow.
because we missed all of it.
Okay. No problem.
Number 6, Ella Bannister. Number 7, Allison Murphy.
Good evening here from Decatur, Georgia, here at Gallerstadt Field on the campus of Agnes Scott College. Opening weekend here in the Premier Ultimate League. The Austin Torch coming to town to take on your Atlanta Soul. Joined here in the booth with Matt Fazzolero, Amada Caliande. Matt, opening weekend, super stoked. What are your initial thoughts here on this one?
Yeah, Dakali, I mean, here we are, the start of the 2025 PUL season. It's been a long wait, a long off season, but we're back. I mean, today it's a gorgeous day in Georgia. The birds are singing, the sun is out, and honestly, it's gotten a little windy here in the back half of the day. We'll see how that affects the players, but just really excited to get the season going and see some phenomenal ultimate.
Yeah, speaking of phenomenal ultimate, both teams last year split in this one with the Austin Torch winning the first game and the Atlanta Soul winning the second game, 15-13, their only victory of the season. Looking to add on to some of that momentum here today against this side. We have the Austin Torch dying the whites and the Atlanta Soul and those new darks this season. We were able to talk to both coaches pre-game in this one. Matt, can you give us some insight on what both of those coaches said on their goals, the team goals for the season?
Definitely. So for the Austin Torch, first they want to execute their sets and their system, both on offense and defense. In terms of offense, they want to be efficient. They want to find the end zone. They want to get on the scoreboard because that's how they're going to win games. And then in terms of defense, they want to apply pressure both by being smart and aggressive. And, of course, we know that the Austin Torch made it to championship weekend. Last year would fall to New York Gridlock kind of in, a game that didn't go their way. And they want to get back there, but they're going to take it one game at a time. In terms of, how the Atlanta Soul want to perform this season, the coaches really stressed to us this new Try Hard award, where they're really focusing on effort over the outcome. They give the award to a player who is kind of having great effort, and then that player passes it on to somebody at the next kind of practice. They're a very culture-based team, and I think you're going to see that out here in the field today.
Yeah, super stoked to watch both of these teams play. I know we circled some players pre-game in this one for the Austin Torch. I know me and you both have circled Carly Garrett here in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Some other players for the Torch to look out for, Matt?
Definitely. So Sarah Downing is definitely a name you're going to want to look at. She was not playing a ton last year because of an injury, but she's back. She's going to be on the stat sheet, both for assists and goals. And then, of course, MC Robbins. She's always great for the Austin Torch. Is going to be all over the place on the field.
So we'd like to give a shout out here to Discraft. The Discraft Ultra Star is the official disc of the Premier Ultimate League. Discraft, the world leader in disc sports. This live broadcast of the Premier Ultimate League is brought to you by Breakmark Ultimate Apparel. Go to breakmark.com to place your next custom team order or check out the PUL Athlete Collab shops. So we are about a couple minutes away here from opening pull. Any bold pregame predictions in this one, Matt?
I think the only thing that I want to predict is that, a new player to the Atlanta Soul, Jimena Montaña, is going to have an insane game. You may recognize that name. She played with Medellin Revolution and New York Bent, up in the Northeast. And this is her first time kind of down in the South, so we're really excited to see what she can do and see some highlight play. She's incredibly athletic. I'd love to see a sick layout grab by her, and I'm excited.
For me, I'm going to be a little biased, having gone to Berry College. Morgan Lally, huge play to hear today. At some point, either skying or going deep, burning someone for a big play. Look for Morgan Lally to get the disc and be dangerous.
Definitely.
So, once again, just minutes away here from opening pull. Reminders to you, kind of the rules here in the Premier Ultimate League. 12-minute quarters. Matt, a little bit different if you're watching here, if you've watched the UFA and you're a fan of the UFA and now you're like, oh, I'm going to watch the Premier Ultimate League. What's different, a little bit different about the rules here?
I would say, the main difference is what's going to happen at the end of quarters. Like you just said, quarters are going to be 12 minutes, but the difference from the UFA is that there is no buzzer beater. They're going to finish that point out for the first 3 quarters up until the last quarter. In the fourth quarter, that's when that buzzer beater comes on. They're going to put up a huge huck and see if somebody can come down with it.
So it looks like as we're playing the guessing game on who has the disc to pull first.
Looking like they might still be figuring out themselves out of Kale.
Honestly, I'm looking for a rock, paper, scissors match to the death at midfield.
That's how we should do it from now on, I think.
So as we await that decision, then we'll kind of figure out what kind of strategy for either side. I would assume they're on offense here in this one, seeing Quincy Booth
Definitely, yeah.
on the line there for the Atlanta Soul. I would assume the Atlanta Soul are on offense, but I could be wrong. Quincy, I'm not hating on your D, but I've seen you play offense.
Let's be honest, yeah.
You're a great offensive player.
Definitely. It sure does look like an Atlanta Soul O-line out there. Liv Ford, she's been a rock for them these past couple years. A captain this year, super exciting. I played club with her last summer for Athens Murmur, and just really excited for her to ball out. I know she feeds off energy and does great.
So confirmation, Atlanta will be on O first, and Austin to pull as first pull here of opening weekend here from Decatur, Georgia. And that disc is off, and it's game time, folks. See the disc immediately there with Liv Ford. Nice cut there from Montaña. I love the high release. Griner able to read that one.
Tight one there for Griner.
Swing the disc to the center of the field. Good movement here from the Soul. I like the non-static offense so far. Chloe Green, a no look. That one is dug up and kept alive there by Say. And now a deep shot looking for Sarah Kingsley Hart. Just too much sauce on it.
Yeah, just a little too much arm there. Been in the gym, understandable. A great bid by Maggie Roll there, trying to get the disc for the Torch, but they get it anyway on an overthrown huck.
So a break opportunity here for the Austin Torch. Let's see what they can do. Picking up the disc there will be Meg Duffy. You see the wind has died down a little bit, Matt, allowing these throws to be put off with crisp precision.
Definitely.
As they continue to work it down this far sideline. Still working it down this far sideline. Atlanta doing a good job of not allowing the disc to be swung.
Yeah, good person D. Ooh, a high one.
This one's still floating and red all the way. Torch approaching the end zone.
That's a good mark by Liv Ford.
Swing across. Now the wind is looking to pick up, a little bit of a crosswind, as a pick is called on the field.
Exciting first point here out of Cali. This is what I'm talking about.
I bet both teams weren't expecting this kind of point to begin with so far. They're going to have to earn it, and now a kind of a prayer put up. It's still floating.
Ooh, what a grab.
And caught and kept alive there by Maggie Rowell. Opening us up 1-0, Austin Torch.
Oh, yeah. Torch are getting hype. Love to see it.
Talk about a serendipitous play, Matt, in this one. I mean, definitely not how Coach drew it up.
Definitely not. I mean, it was, to highlight the defense of the Austin Torch. I love the switching that they were doing downfield. It's really intelligent stuff, and that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to get blocks by being smart and aggressive, and I think we saw that on this first point. And starting off with a break. Great way to start your season.
Yeah, I would love to see the Atlanta Soul there on that defense. You need more dark jerseys on a floater like that, When that disc is in the air and you're a defense and it gets kind of caught up in the air by the wind, that turns from a 50-50 to 64. Like, the defense should win that every, I'd say 6 out of 10 times.
Especially with a player like Quincy Booth on the field who is, just so tall, like so vertically inclined. She's got to go get that every day of the week.
So, first break of the game, first point of the game, Austin Torch with the momentum. And folks, I always talk about whenever I'm on a broadcast, I know it's like I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but ultimately it's a game of runs. It's that heavyweight fight, and both teams are going to trade shots in this one. Atlanta Soul having to work from their own end zone.
Seeing a different O-line out here, as to be expected, kind of when you get broken. Let's see if they can find the end zone.
Some good movement so far. And a little bit of a poachy
a little
mark.
junky look. Oh, great block there. That is number 10, Gabby Sweeney.
So great block. Once again, another break opportunity. The Torch are looking to run. And it looks like the Atlanta in a zone of their own. A little 3-person cup here at the front. Torch trying to get rid of it, and a great job of getting the block there from Ellie Meyer, excuse me. Megan Gerald here with the rock.
Wind picking up here, folks.
And would love to see maybe a couple of quick movements on strike cuts here to attack this kind of poaching defense. Not too many air bounces because they might jump here with the wind. And a deep shot put up, this one blading. And see, that's exactly what I'm talking about right there, For those throws, you've got to put a lot of spin, especially going into this wind. You saw how it just kind of eased its way into a blade straight into the grass.
Definitely. Need a little bit more touch there, just a few feet beyond number 6, Lila Bannister.
So, some quick turns back and forth. A real grinding point here for both sides.
Yeah, I mean, we said we wanted an exciting game, and we're getting it right now.
A nice blading throw. Completed there to Emma Berrigan. And Berrigan's going to race deep immediately, no one guarding her. But Atlanta in a kind of zone junky look, trying to stop out those intermediate throws, and running it down there is Jill. And a big layout bid on the far sideline to keep possession alive. This one floating, a quick turn back the other way. Both teams really trying to settle in this one, Matt.
Still in this zone look. Let's see if Soul can trap him in here.
Still working. Megan Gerald active there on that mark and the cup space.
It's been a long point for both teams. You got to think they're getting tired. That's where those execution errors are coming in. Both kind of beating themselves up right now. just working it back and forth.
And this is what you kind of want to see here from this Torch team. Work the disc sideline to sideline. You're going to churn up yardage up the field.
Yeah, it's that falling leaf motion that you want when resetting the disc.
Myriad of fakes there from Summer Wilson. And
Ooh,
a
the big
deep
one.
shot. OI into the corner, dropping in the bucket. Dime ball in the end zone there for Gabby Quina.
Back-to-back breaks for the Austin Torch.
So like we said, knockout heavyweight fight, right?
Definitely.
First 2 jabs, quick, right in the mouth there to the Atlanta Soul. You're not out of it. It's how you answer, Matt.
Definitely, yeah. When you get punched in the face, and that's kind of what they say, like you have a plan going in, but everything changes when you get hit in the mouth. That's kind of what's happening to the Atlanta Soul right now, so let's see how they respond. Looking like they're putting that starting O back out there, Quincy Booth, the height, and hopefully they can find the end zone, you know. It's kind of on them right now. Execution errors, good D, good offense, but just kind of need to be a little bit tighter on those rounds especially.
Yeah, and I'm looking to see who really wants that try-hard award here for the Atlanta Soul,
Definitely.
right? We talked about a coach pregame there with the coaching staff. I mean, a newly made up award this year for this team. We want to see who is really playing gritty, who is really out there balling out, giving everything they have. And we see a bunch of new players here on this offensive line here for the Atlanta Soul. I believe that looks like Morgan Lally out there, along with Gerald, Quincy Booth, and I believe Ellie Meyer as well. Like Charlie Hawkins trying to direct traffic into Quincy Booth. Working it down the line to Montagna. Montagna rears back with a big backhand. This one blading, looking for Gerald, and just out of bounds.
A great throw and a great bid. A little too heavy-handed, but that's what's going to find them the end zone right there. A great throw by Montagna.
And the crazy part is, if she had gotten a hand on it, I think she may have been able to toe her body first in the line. But like you said, just outside the reach.
Definitely. With how Gerald plays, she's got great body control. Definitely could have brought that one home. Just needed a hand on it.
So another break opportunity right here for the Torch. This one floating, kept alive. Looks like a matchup defense here for the Atlanta Soul. Good active mark there by Morgan Lally. This one floating, Montagna racing towards it. Gets the big time denial.
Great block. And they're off to the races. Here we go.
So that's Soju Hikari. Back to Montagna. And to Lally. Booth. Booth directing traffic. Inside to Montagna, their far sideline. Booth trying to shake loose. Ankle sold separately, ladies and gentlemen. Still surveying. Should be in an end zone set right now, Matt. Very close to the end zone.
And a great grab. That is number 33, Georgia Zay.
Back to Hikari. She's directing her traffic. Inside flick. This one floating in. Morgan
There it
Lally!
is.
The little Mac into the end zone for the score, and the Atlanta Soul are on the board.
There we go.
2-1 is your score.
Yeah, one thing I want to highlight there, Adekale. Jimena Montagna was an under merchant on that point, coming for the disc, really hard cuts, very tough to guard, and she propelled the team down the field. Very nice stuff. Glad to see that the Atlanta Soul on the board, and we're in a dogfight right now, 2-1.
Hey, if that is gonna get me a raise here on this broadcast, calling the Morgan Lally incredible play.
There it is.
There it is.
I know you and her are personal friends. Always got to be good.
Exactly. Love to see it so far here in Atlanta Soul. First 3 points, a little worrisome. Back and forth turnovers they went, but Atlanta finally able to kind of breathe a little bit and kind of come easy and calm down and get that first one on the board.
Definitely. Now that they have one, they can relax, get back into their systems, and see what they can do for the rest of this game.
So we welcome you back once again if you're just tuning in. The Austin Torch are up 2-1 here over the Atlanta Soul here on opening weekend. Joined here with Matt Fazzolero, Adekale Ande, Torch are moving here with the disc. Far sideline.
Ooh, a great grab there. Good D as well.
Still working the desk. Looking to get into a red zone set. The Torch. And beautiful outside in throw, opening up the width of the field.
Nice around by Clara Stewart there.
And a myriad of fakes there on the front corner pylon. Trying to shake loose. Big around. Another inside throw, towing the front end line. Is
Looks
that
like there's
in?
a call.
And I believe the disc will get sent back. Disc will remain here with Nikki Gilbert. Still working the disc. Gilbert striking up line. Wants it, doesn't get it. Torch are really working to punch it in. A good swing across the field. Having trouble being a reset. An inside backhand. Surgical into the end zone. 3-1 Austin Torch.
Yeah, that Summer Wilson was a score. One thing I want to highlight is just this Austin Torch. One, the fakes that they are throwing is getting me. I'm turning my head, and they're still holding on to the disc, as well as those arounds. That's how you're going to, get to that break side. You have way more of the field to throw into, and then there they are in the end zone.
But Matt, even there on that last kind of like offensive set, the defense there for the Soul it really didn't look like there was a force, right?
Sure.
Almost looked force middle, so to say, just flipping at both sides. But that kind of left open resets there for the Torch to kind of work and then finally find that inside.
Definitely. And if you're going to go force middle, that can work great. But the point is to force in the middle, keep everything in the middle of the field where most of the players are. And the Torch was getting way too far to the outside. We'll see if they can, do a better job on the next one, but we'll see how the Atlanta Soul offense goes now.
So 2:50 remaining here in this first quarter. If you're just tuning in, the Austin Torch are up 3-1 here of the Atlanta Soul. Opening weekend here in the PUL, here on the beautiful campus of Agnes Scott College. Just a beautiful day, Matt, here for some Ultimate.
Yeah, what a day. Want to remind you, at the end of each quarter, they're going to play through the buzzer up until the fourth quarter.
See that pull, a little roller past midfield. Lift forward to pick up there for Atlanta. Looking to make quick work. Kingsley Hart with the rock. Continuing up the line there to Montagna. Wide open underneath, not able to handle that one to say.
So those execution errors that we've been talking about that is hurting the Atlanta Soul right now.
So, quick gift there to the Torch. Let's see what they can make happen. Really churning underneath. Kingsley Hart! Did she get a piece of it? Miles Lally put that on the stat sheet. I'm giving her the block.
Definitely. That's the D you got to have when you turn the disc over. You got to get it back.
Around there to Booth. Nice fake from Booth to open up the mark. Booth has got all-time later stall counts. Got to get rid of it. Montagna able to dig that one up. Around to Kingsley Hart. This one lower. Montagna once again able to dig it up. Swung over there to Green. Up the line looking for Griner. She is not bashful when it comes to big-time plays for this team.
Definitely not. She loves those.
Green, a nice bleeding shot.
Oh.
Kept it alive by Say, and then into the end zone. There from Montagna for the score.
Maybe not how they drew it up, but, that's a point on the board. We're in the end zone. We're off to the races once again.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. 3-2 is your score. The Atlanta Soul battling back in this one, only down one. 1:25 remaining here in the first quarter. But, Matt, it's something to say, when a play doesn't work out like that, where it's tipped, and you're still able to have hustle and being able to get to the disc. I know we talked to the coaches for the Atlanta Soul pregame, and they said we want to be the grittiest.
Definitely.
Like, no pun intended, but they want to be the grittiest team here. They're going to keep fighting and have that spirit.
For sure, yeah. Staying locked in is super important. You turn the disc over, you're on defense now, go get it back. And that's what we saw from the Atlanta Soul. It was really, really tight D. They were in their back pocket, and it came up good.
So down one, close contest. Folks, I hope you're at home, wherever you're watching this. Got a snack, a nice beverage with you. Stay tuned to this one. It has the makings of a thriller.
A good pull by Hokari.
Seoul initially in this cup look zone defense. And I love the way, I know you pointed this out earlier, that the torch handlers are really shifting the mark with these fakes. Some of them are no looks. As they continue to work it up past the midfield.
Torch are really finding those holes in the Seoul defense.
Swung around there to Summer Wilson. Wilson, another big fake. And now they're using the full width of the field. Churning yardage, putting it up down the line.
Oh.
Just outside the outreach arms there of Carly Garrett.
Garrett was one of the players that the Torch coaches wanted to highlight. She's been called upon a bunch of times. That one just slipped out of her grasp.
So a gift, a break opportunity now for the Atlanta Soul. Wind picking up, lift forward here with the rock. Near end line, kept alive there by Hikari. Hikari weighing their options, hoping to make something happen.
Downfield movement feels a little stifled.
Folks, no worries. Still keeping possession alive now. Hikari rearing back. This one ending up short, but kept alive there by Anna Gustafsson.
A break is exactly what the Soul need right here at the end of the first.
Ford directing traffic. This one is blocked and denied. And that will be the end of the first quarter, folks. Your score is the Austin Torch 3 and the Atlanta Soul 2. Folks, remember, if you're feeling like you're enjoying the stream so far, remember the Atlanta Souls live streams are entirely self-produced. If you want to continue watching great Ultimate and great streams, make sure to donate at AtlantaSoulUltimate.com. Matt, your first quarter here in the booth, and you sound like a veteran. How are you feeling so far, Matt?
I feel really good. I've got a great teacher here out of Kale. You're giving me everything I need, and it's a really fun, exciting game, to chat about. I think I definitely want to highlight once again, the Torch are on the road. First game of the season, it can be very tough to find those legs under you. Maybe you've been traveling, you're on a bus, you're on a plane, but they're doing really amazing. Taking it to them. Excited to see more in the second quarter.
Awesome. As I want to give a big shout out to Eli Jaime there, bringing the pizza, double nickel.
One for us out of Kale. We're getting pizza.
Stoked for that
Very
one here in
nice.
this one.
I hope it's pepperoni.
3-2. Couple minutes here from the second quarter action. What are you looking forward to most here in this second quarter and to end the first half? What do you think is really going to propel either side forward here in this one?
Yeah, I think if I'm a Soul player or a Soul coach, right now I'm preaching that, it's on us. We're kind of making those mistakes. The Torch aren't really beating us too bad. If we can just tighten up, lock in, really drive our throws to our person, I think they're going to have some different results here in the second and hopefully have a tighter game for you at home to enjoy.
Exactly. And I'm thinking here for the Torch, right? You're the road team. You're the road dogs coming into the A, trying to beat Atlanta, which you've done before in the past. You did it once last year. I think you got to continue to ride this momentum, right? You got out early with some great defensive stops. Would love to see them continue to, wreak havoc here defensively and then try to be smooth offensively. We've seen them kind of work this Atlanta zone and really use the full width of the field, be patient, and whenever they've got their look, trust their throwers to be able to execute.
Definitely, and that's what the Torch coaches were highlighting at the beginning of the game. It's that offensive efficiency. They want to find the end zone. They want to keep the disc in their hands, getting everybody involved if they can, using those amazing fakes that we've been seeing, moving the defense, and they're doing a great job of it so far.
So we're jamming out here in the booth, about 10 seconds away here from second quarter action.
Torch should be receiving the disc from the Soul here in the second.
I'll say it, Matt. Always a party up here in the booth. You got to have fun here, and we're hoping all the fans watching from wherever you are having fun as well here in this exciting contest.
There's that Soul D-line heading out there, led by Liv Ford, Soju Hikari, Anna Gustafsson. Definitely looking to get a break here at the start of the second.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to see who makes the big play. And, I always call it the big play the juice play, right? What is going to get this side amped up? Either team, right? Whoever's going to make that big play, that big juice play to spark, be the catalyst for energy-wise, offense or defense, that is going to be what we're going to circle at halftime, post-game, as a difference maker.
Definitely.
And a beautiful pull, this one with the wind deep into the back of the end line. The Soul racing back to make a play and get the defense on. This is dangerous territory, Callahan territory right here, Matt.
Exactly what you like to see if you're an Atlanta Soul fan.
Immediately into this zone look, pinning the offense back. Just trying to work their way around. A couple of dangerous passes still in their own end line. Having trouble, electing to go backwards. And run through block there by Liv Ford. Here we go, Atlanta Soul, corner pylon, break chance. Ford trying to make something happen. This one just blading. Would have loved to see a little more OI there on that throw.
Need a bit more touch there, Adekale, definitely in a wind like this.
The right look, though, I'm not mad at it. But those are the opportunities which we've talked about that you need to capitalize. Whenever you want to make a run, you have to get those gimmies. And against an elite team, obviously, it's not necessarily a gimme. But when you're short field, you've got to take advantage.
Definitely. In the red zone, a good team's getting it every time.
Torch battling, working their way outside of their own end line. Doing a good job of selling the fakes, right? Not necessarily looking to make those throws, but just opening up the mark.
Torch handler's so calm with the disc in their hands. Everything looks easy. Upside down, backhand flick. They've got it all right now.
Disc swung over there to Summer Wilson. Wilson has thrown that big backhand fake, and that's really opened up her mark. Now crossfield lift forward, racing back towards it. Kept alive there by Jamie Estes. This one just outside the outreach arms there of Summer Wilson.
Yeah, a little too hard there by Clara Stewart.
So Soju Hikari to pick up there for the Soul. Swung over there to Charlotte Doran. Now Emma Jaski. Back to Doran again. Working around and a run-through block with the tongue out there for Jamie Estes. Getting in the game. Down the line, Torch are hungry. A little shake cut. Trying to break free. And a layup into the end zone. Are you kidding me? I believe that is Amy Broom.
That's what I'm talking about, Adekale. That's the exciting stuff we want to see. A great hold there by the Austin Torch. Bit of a heartbreaker for the Soul. They were right there on the doorstep, had the break in their hands, just couldn't come away with it this time. Looks like their spirits are still up. There's high fives all around. Mia Grinder doing a great job keeping that energy, that spirit up. We'll see what the O-line can do.
A 4-2 game. And if you're the Soul right now, you got to think in your head, right? We've scored the disc one time on offense, 3 breaks. You're still in this game if you score on serve, correct?
Definitely. Like you said, it's a game of runs. It's a heavyweight fight. A lot of rounds here. Still left to go. They can get back in this if they want to.
Yeah, you got to believe that's what the coaching staff right now for the Atlanta Soul is just preaching to their team. Just continue to work, continue to fight. Let's be gritty. Let's not give up. It's early on. Let's play our game.
Definitely.
So 9:17 remaining here in the first half. If you're just tuning in, 4-2 is your score with the Austin Torch up over the Atlanta Soul. This stop there by Morgan Lally, Hikari, and now Booth. Swung over there to Hawkins. Continue to work the disc around, dug up there by Say. Continue to work Montagna. Back to Booth. End zone set Montagna. Front corner pylon. Booth trying to shake loose. Myriad of fakes looking for something. Hikari just short of the end zone. Booth trying to shake loose. Filthy, Matt, filthy.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, love to see Booth there quarterbacking that entire point. She's hitting downfield. She's getting the reset. She's even the one to score with a big exclamation point spike there at the end.
And talk about tough cover, Matt. I mean, Quincy Booth, she is very agile, very tall handler, but staying in front of her, it's like you're handcuffed inside a phone booth and you're expected to go make a button hook. You're just running into quicksand, really. I mean, it's so tough to cover her.
I would be hard-pressed to say that there is a team in the PUL that has an answer for a player like Booth.
It's crazy to believe, how young she is. I mean, I remember her first season here with the Atlanta Soul. I was like, what? She's 17 playing for the Atlanta Soul?
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? This live broadcast is brought to you by the Premier Ultimate League. PUL is a 501c nonprofit. The league has been community funded since day one, and we are so grateful for the support. We ask that you consider donating to help us continue to transform and fulfill our mission. Head to PremierUltimateLeague.com to donate today. So 4-3 contest. Austin Torch looking to battle back and have an answer. Still in this zone defense here for the Atlanta Soul.
Soul still looking for their first break of the game. Let's see if this zone can get it for them.
This one popping up. Might be coming here to the booth.
Oh, what a grab by the fan on the sideline. Let him keep the disc.
I just wanted my 5 seconds of fame. I was so ready for that to come right here.
You would have had it out of Kali, I know.
So this one, a big-time gift given to the Atlanta Soul near sideline. Akali going to pick up. And I believe we may have our first timeout in the game. Possibly put on the kill line to tie this one up. Or maybe just trying to realize, hey, this is a big opportunity.
Definitely. I love that call by the Atlanta Soul coaching staff. We've got the disc. We need a break. Let's lock in right before, talk about what we want to do, and have a plan for when we go out there. On a trap sideline, it's going to be hard to get it off and around. Let's see if they can do it.
Honestly, Matt, any kind of trick plays you're thinking of right here, I mean, when you look at this disc near sideline, right, you're going with the wind. I'm almost elected to find maybe your bigger cutter or your faster cutter.
Definitely.
Trying to shade them in maybe as a decoy and then send someone else deep because you're going to have the throw here if you really want it.
Yeah. Here, I think I would, the person picking up the disc, I'd throw it around, and then that person who just threw the round is going deep, because then your defender is kind of like asleep at the wheel. They think, okay, you've just thrown the disc. You're not going to be super active in the next couple seconds, and then you're in the end zone, and we'll see who gets it. Looks like Quincy Booth is going to be picking up here.
If Booth picking up, I mean, even look for her to kind of shift her mark. I've noticed she's had a smaller defender on her throughout this whole game, right? She's got long arms. If she makes a fake, that can completely turn around someone. I mean, when you see someone's arms go completely behind your head, you thought they let go of the disc.
Definitely have to respect it with Booth as well. She's got every throw, a very deep bag of tricks. Appears to be some kind of conversation on the field.
I think they're talking about placement, Matt, and seeing where everyone was before the timeout.
Super important. Want to make sure that we're all in the right spot. There's no advantages given beyond, getting to talk about it at a timeout.
You see the Torch side, or excuse me, the Soul sideline celebrating someone doing a little bit of a handstand, some acro yoga. Look like that was Claire Stewart, excuse me. Well, dyslexic maybe, thought the 7 was a 1.
We'd love to see a multi-sport athlete. There she is again.
Killing it there, doing some handstands for the crowd as we're still awaiting the decision here from the observers.
I would do some handstands here in the booth as well, but I don't think we have enough room for that out of Kale.
No, not even a little bit. They're still discussing.
Looks like we're moving towards a resolution.
It's a good crowd on hand here today, splitting both sidelines, really supportive. I mean, I like this new venue, playing here at Agnes Scott College. You see the fans bringing their own lawn chairs. Everyone's got the little pops going on, all the little kiddos running around, playing in the background.
It's a great Saturday for sure, and a gorgeous little field here tucked in, a little hideaway in Decatur, Atlanta.
And this split cup look initially on the trap sideline, like you said earlier. And look for Quincy. I think, Matt, if she doesn't get the initial look to boost this. Griner is deep in the end zone. Able to get it off that sideline. Chloe Green finding Booth once again. Green popping. If they're able to swing this around, they've got Griner open with some yards. Montana in the green, back to Liv Ford. Up ahead, Kingsley Hart. Down the line, looking for Montana with the toe drag swag. Is she in? Yes, she is.
And that's why you call a timeout there, Adekale. You get the break. Here we go. We're off to the races. We're tied 4-4.
Huge break there for the Atlanta Soul. And it's almost one of those ones, Matt, where you're watching the play unfold and you're seeing that next cut and you're in your head, you're like, no, don't throw that same third hook like down the sideline. But when you trust your throws, you trust your cutters, you just got to give them an opportunity to make a play.
100%. With a cutter like Montana as well, you know she's going to do everything she can, toe the line, come away with it.
Once again, thanks for tuning in. If you're watching here at home, Matt Fazzolano, I'm Adekale Ande up here in the booth, having a great time up here. It's a 4-4 contest here on opening weekend here in the PUL. Just for those fans watching here, wherever you are at home, just make sure you understand it's 7:22 remaining here in this first half, having some technical difficulties. There on the scoreboard overlay here on your screen. Second quarter, 7:22. We'll do our best to keep you updated with time as we move forward until we're able to resolve it. Immediate mark put on. Quickly working it around, and a hand block, but kept alive. Possession there with Shuri Liu.
The energy feels like it there. That feels like it is there with the Atlanta Soul after that break.
And a deep shot put down the field, blading. That one touched the grass before, but great effort there by Maggie Rowell to make a play there on that disc. I guess a foul was called. Electing to send the disc back.
Looks like it's going to be Atlanta Soul disc after your observer calls no foul. Love the spirit of calling your own disc down there when you know you don't come up with it.
Disc here with Green. Not able to read that one as that throw is just a little bit behind Berrigan. Or excuse me, Doran. Working it down this near sideline. Robbins surveying, needing help, working it down, and good job, great help, defense coming up there with the rejection.
That's an intelligent poach D there by number 44, Jordan Horn.
So on their own end line, and a hand block return to sender on the goal line, Annie Ortiz.
Yeah, it looks like Doran was looking for Horn on the same third, more of like a same 16th huck there. Usually not advised, and you saw the outcome.
Short field here for the Torch, racing towards the front quarter pylon. Maggie Rowell, 0-0, gives the Torch back the lead, 5-4.
Bit of a messy point by both teams there. A few turns. I mean, it's gusting out here. I think that's kind of why Doran turned it over in the middle of the field, not with the hand block. But it's getting a little messy out here, but that's kind of the ultimate that I like to see personally. When things get down and weird, how are you going to come back? How are you going to find the end zone? Let's get creative.
So 5:55 remaining here in the first half. 5-4 is your score with the Austin Torch up here over the Atlanta Soul. And Matt, is it still kind of what you expected here in this match so far? Both teams still really like filling each other out. Close game, going back and forth, trading turnovers. No one has really kind of propelled so far in this one. the Torch getting a little 2-point advantage early on, but nothing greater than that.
For sure. And I mean, if you go back to last year, they split games. You know, Torch taking the first one, Soul taking the second. And, you know, that's evident of this game here today as well.
Katie Sanders to pick up here for the Soul. A low release backhand, able to find Gerald. Gerald needing some help, having trouble. Gets the inside off. Dobler into Hawkins. Back to Gerald. Hawkins trying to cut free. Just nothing down the field, Matt. Stifling defense here from the Torch. Bannister. Now over to Hawkins. Back around there for Tuna. And just outside the outreach arms there of Hawkins. Turnover there for the Soul. Trying to work far sideline, deep shot. This one floating. Couple of jerseys racing back towards it. And a great job defensively there by Katie Sanders. And let's hope she is all right.
Walking off the field, looked like she's going to be okay. Great job of catching the D there, making sure there was no way a Torch player was going to come down with it.
So coming in, I believe, will be Doran there for Atlanta, replacing Sanders.
Looks like the Torch are also going to make a sub with Maggie Roll coming in for Emma Berrigan.
She's had a couple of Ds here in this one and a couple of scores as well. Tuna to Hawkins. Hawkins a little low, but able to keep it up. There is Meyer. And a block. Who else but Maggie Rawl? She's been everywhere here for this Torch team.
Subbing in, getting the block. Come on.
This one low and blading all the way. Another gift given back to the Atlanta Soul.
Yeah, a lot of power there by Duffy on the throw, just kind of not in the right direction. But that's okay.
Doran picking up here for the Soul.
Great shimmy.
Working it off the sideline. Having trouble. Able to find Doran. Got him to go backwards. Great inside cut, Gerald. Deep shot. Weird back. This one short tipped. And followed through all the way to the ground. Good defense there by Cherie Liu. Torch trying to answer back. And I believe a timeout called there by the Austin Torch. 3:30 remaining here in the first half. 5-4 is your score with the Austin Torch up over the Atlanta Soul.
You know what, Akali? I think one thing that the Soul could do a little bit better is, you know, they're getting those unders, and then they're not really looking downfield for another continuation to continue to get that chunk yardage. They're kind of just looking back for their reset, giving it back to Doran. And I think they need to just turn their head a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's a great point. You see some of our youngest fans waving up to us here in the booth, enjoying some Fritos, watching some Ultimate Frisbee. Gotta love it there on the sidelines. Trying to keep the spirit and the energy up and alive. I mean, here in this game, I would like to see, like I said earlier, that juice punting. What is going to be the determining factor for either one of these teams to really get up in this game and to make it their own? You know, you want to be able to say, hey, who won that first half?
For sure. I think Maggie Roll for the Torch is definitely that juice player as of right now. Subbing onto the field, getting layout blocks, contributing in the scores. She's all over the place.
So disc far sideline.
That same zone look from the Soul.
Swung over. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit. They're going into the wind. They got to be careful to really snap there on those throws as we see.
There it is.
Push down. Quick turn. Atlanta Soul ball.
And that's why you run that zone in these high wind situations.
Hikari to pick up here for the Soul. Tough throw. Kept alive. There is Allison Murphy. Ortiz. Back to Donnie. Inside, some trouble. Two players there, but not able to read it.
Just a little miscommunication on whose disc that was going to be between Doran and Ford.
But immediately into that zone defensive look come the Soul. And a hand block stepping in the fray there is Amajaski. Ortiz looking to work quick. Ortiz needing a bailout, gonna have to put something up. Late in the stall count, puts up a prayer to lift forward, and it's answered. 5-5, we're tied up.
Really impressive by the Soul there to, kind of be playing a little offense, turn it over, and then be right back into that zone that they're so good at. There's a reason they run it. It's to get hand blocks like that, stifle things up front, and stop some downfield movement. Great break by the Soul.
You know how rewarding it is, Matt, to be in that cup and actually get a block, D. It's so frustrating to have to run width of the field as the disc moves around to not get anything defensively, but to know in the back of your head, we're working, we're really making them work, move the disc around. We may not get the block, but we did our job.
Totally. It's such a good reward when you actually come away with the thing that you're looking for, which is the block. And then you get to play offense, which is, in my opinion, as an offensive player, the best part of Frisbee.
Yeah.
Really want to commend also the conditioning of the Atlanta Soul zone. It's really hard, like Adekale just said, to keep running back and forth like that. It feels like you're just playing a game, of cat and mouse. So shout out to those players out there who are really running.
That's what we talk about with the coaches. They really wanted to show what they're all about and wanted to tell everyone who's watching here at home or wherever you're watching from, they rep the A. They rep Atlanta. This is a true kind of grassroots team with deep talent from the Atlanta area. Looks like they're in a matchup defense now, looking for a reset, having trouble late in the stall count. Scabby Quina going to talk it out with Gerald. Perhaps maybe a fast count.
I was thinking the same thing, Adekale. Great reset defense by Hokari right there.
I guess there was no contest. Disc coming in on 4. Able to get the reset off. Stewart here with the rock. And around from Stewart, going to have to race back towards it. Oh my goodness, keeping the disc alive, FC Robbins. A sick individual there with that grab.
And that's what we call the conservation of greatness there, Adekale. You have an amazing play, and then you kind of turn it over. Can't be great all the time.
So the Atlanta Soul, an opportunity here to get back our break, and a chance to take the lead here for the first time in this contest. Morgan Lally racing deep. This one blading Ward stay in bounds. And would have loved to see that throw towards the middle of the field. You had 2 dark jerseys there.
Yeah, that backhand hook is kind of what Booth is known for. She's pretty high percentage with that. This one just didn't go her way.
So a gift back once again here to the torch. Hikari. Stewart having to go deep into her own end zone. This now with Ortiz. Ortiz puts up a floater and coming in out of nowhere to say. Excuse me, Jordan Harn. Great block, short field here for the Soul. Inside, front corner, Morgan Lally. First lead of the contest here for the Atlanta Soul, 6-5.
Adekale, if I was giving out that hustle, that try hard award that the coaches were talking about, it would definitely go to Jordan Harn. I mean, she was all over the place on that point. Tons of effort, getting downhill, getting the block. She's wearing a cape right now. That might be the try hard award. There it is. Good for her.
Killing it. Harn, when I say she wasn't on the screen, she came out of nowhere like Randy Orton giving an RKO and just made her mark on the play. You've got to love that when a player is able to kind of impose their will in the game to the point where you've got us jumping up and down here in the booth.
Definitely.
That is a juice play, so to say.
For sure. Yeah, that break is all on her. Great job.
So 13.5 seconds remaining here in the first half. Once again, Matt, want to give us an update on the rulings there at the end of the quarter?
Totally. So the Soul are going to pull to the torch right now, and then it is essentially, once the buzzer goes off, that is the last possession. So if the torch have the disc, when that buzzer goes off, they essentially get to try and score. If they turn it over, that's going to be the end of the second quarter.
So 13.5 seconds here in this first half. Beautiful pull there by Hikari.
An offsides call.
Yeah, offsides call. Our first one here in this matchup.
Let's see if it's on the torch or the soul.
I'm going to believe it's against the soul
I agree.
as Clara Stewart brings the disc up for some more yardage.
And with the clock having run out, there's no chance for the soul to kind of get a break here, so they've just got to get a block.
Stewart surveying, having trouble, needing a reset. Finally able to find Broom. Near sideline, Garrett.
Donnie Ortiz working really hard for that Atlanta Soul zone right now.
Stewart really opening it up with those fakes. Just electing to go backwards here on the torch. Nothing down the field. Still working the disc around Garrett. A high release backhand really opening up the field now. They're looking to run here on the torch. Far sideline kept alive. Hammer fake to shift the mark. Look for the Austin to get here in the red zone set. Garrett directing where she wants that next cut to go. Working it down the line and reading it like a book there on the end line is Anna Gustafsson.
And that's the half. All they needed was a break to send it to halftime, and Gustafsson coming up big with that one.
6-5 is your score here at the beginning of this first half. We're going to have a little 10-minute intermission, and we'll be back here with some first half analysis and second half action coming at you shortly. Good job, man.
That was a good
Killing
time.
it. Thank you. Get some water in my throat. Ears are sweating.
No, when we hit clock start, it resets it to 12. Same time for that too.
Oops.
And then try hitting start of them. Yeah, see, it's not working on that. We're trying to put the halftime thing up too. No. Yeah, there's something weird in the settings. Yeah, title of area. Go to settings. And we set the. Yeah, no, I know. We set the. We put in 502 there, and then we hit play, and it goes to 0, 0, 0, 0.
Hopefully we sounded all right.
Yeah.
That's fine. That was good first off.
Yeah, it's that's right coming through the headphones.
So they'll welcome us back, tell them the score, and then I'm just gonna say, Matt, kind of break down for us what was going right in that first half, what was going wrong from either side, and then what are we expecting for here in the second half? Really?
Definitely. Cool.
We might not even have time for like a full halftime.
Right.
So we can just talk about something and then probably go to live action, I would
sure.
assume, because I'm assuming this is until we go live, and that's when they start playing.
Yeah,
so.
almost identical, if not
Yeah.
quicker.
But ideally, we'd like be like 10 minutes. We come back at like 5,
Right.
or like 3 minutes and
Yeah.
talk, and then So it should be Atlanta on D and
Atlanta should be on O.
And
Quincy's out there
first,
because they
third.
started, yeah, it's essentially at the beginning of the game again. So, and Atlanta's up, 6-5, cool.
And we welcome you back here to Decatur, Georgia, at Gellerstedt Field on the campus of Agnes Scott College. If you're just tuning in, it's second half action coming at you with the Atlanta Soul up 6-5 here with Austin Torch in the booth with Matt Fazzolaro, Amada Colorado. Matt, that first half was an exciting one.
Definitely, for sure. I think I want to highlight the Atlanta Soul's ability to bounce back, to punch back. They were down early, kind of like 4-2, 3-1. Wasn't looking great in the first and the second, but here we are. They're up 6-5. I think for the Torch, they can really rely on that, that core group of handlers that they have on their O-line. Though they're down, I would expect those players to really have a big impact here in the second half.
Yeah, and I'm looking for in this second half, both teams, especially Atlanta, they'll be a little more crisp on the offensive end, shows a little bit more discipline with the rock. I felt like they were in good, promising spots, and then maybe elected to throw something a little precarious away from their usual offensive system.
For sure. I feel like those nerves will be gone, and they can just go play free.
Hikari swung over. Montagna with the disc. Gerald racing deep. This one just outside the outreach arms there of Georgia Say. So quick turnover. Torch with an opportunity to get back in this game with a break. And a deep shot put up. Having to race back towards the booth, trying to read it, but cannot do so. Sharu Liu there with the score, with the assist. And I believe Kenzie Knees there with the catch in the end zone.
Yeah, what a throw by Sharu Liu. Really just reaching out with that big backhand, that OI shape that everybody loves. And it's kind of unguardable if you put it in the right spot, just like she did.
And that's one that, if you're a defender, right, playing defense, like Booth was, that's one that you hate. You've always told if you shift your hips twice, you're cooked, right? That's always something your coaches teach you. You got to be able to read the disc and continue down a straight path racing towards it. If you shift your hips more than once, it's so hard to recover.
Definitely. When the disc is heading into that back shoulder space, that can be so hard to guard. It's just kind of, you're kind of cooked, just like you said, Adekale.
Just remember, if you're enjoying the stream, you enjoy listening to Matt Fazzolaro and myself, remember that these streams are all self-produced. And if you want to continue to see these streams online for free, donate at AtlantaSoulUltimate.com. So tied up at 6 apiece. Torch there with that first shot in the second half. Atlanta looking to answer it. Gonna have to be careful, and this one just over the outreach arms there of Sanders. Short field now for the Torch. Break opportunity. This one just dropped. Uncharacteristic there from MC Robbins. A little low on the throw.
That's a gift there for the Soul after a little unfocused throw, and they've got it back. They need this.
Hawkins. Dug up by Montagna. Excuse me, that's Therese Dobler. And this one going airborne. Lila Bannister keeping the disc alive. A deep shot put up. This one might have the right sauce on it. Hawkins racing towards it and just outside her reach. And it looked like that was going to be just a dime ball the whole way, but the wind really took it.
Really great float there by Katie Sanders on that backhand hook. I think it just, the wind started pushing it downwind a little bit, got out of reach. But I love the effort, love the bid.
Let's hope Hawkins is all right. She's going down, calling an injury. Let's hope she was able to return.
Looks like Booth coming onto the field there.
If I'm Atlanta, right, they got to bring it to the front corner pylon. I'm trapping that very hard right now.
Especially with Booth's size. She's got that reach. I'm calling a hand block here, Adekale.
It's a great call. On the mark, a hand block. I'm calling an errant throw, maybe possibly popping up. Callahan territory.
Looks like Booth is headed into the deep space. Probably a zone here.
Gerald there on the mark. Disc there with Summer Wilson. So looking to work it around. No one there to create a stall. Stewart, a myriad of fakes. Very close. Callahan territory. Atlanta so are hungry. They want it.
This is that Chili handler set I was talking about. They look very cool, calm, and collected. Just passing it back and forth. Having a catch with your friends on a Saturday afternoon.
Still working the disc around in their own end zone. Stewart now, front of the end line. Now some movement up the field here for the Torch. Far sideline. Robbins. Having trouble. Going to have to swing it across. And Cheryl, she's hunting for a block. Then that front cup. Oh, almost a little bobble there from Austin. And I love the hand motions and kind of the vision coming here from the handler set from the Torch players.
Yeah, Torch doing a great job of finding those little holes, punching it through, and moving upfield.
Like it just looks like they're playing Goldie out here. I mean, like it's crisp. And it's not to say that this Soul defense isn't really working hard or making them think. It just looks so smooth here from Austin right now on this point.
This is a practice group for sure. They work hard in their offseason.
Up at the field, and just like that, just outside the outreach arch, Booth comes up with the block.
Just a little too much English on that one, a little too hard.
Booth having trouble, like needing a reset. Finally able there to find Sanders. No mark for Sanders, has all the time in the world to get something off.
She's got a cannon. We just saw her throw that big backhand.
Booth, power position. Gerald continue to work it up across. This one floating up. Now up to Booth, just short of the end line. And this is why I'm up in the booth, folks. That's a goal. Good job by Quincy Booth. The long jump into the end zone.
An emphatic spike by her to let everybody know that she's here. She's playing. This is her game.
So 7-6 is your score. The Atlanta Soul are up. 8:11 remaining here in the third quarter.
Big hold after getting broken on that last point. That was must-have for the Atlanta Soul.
And that's what you would want to see from them every O-line point, correct? I mean, that just looked really crisp.
Yeah, it's that ability to fight back that we've been talking about. You turn over the disc, okay, we're playing D now, and we are hungry for that ball.
And I feel like it's one of those things, right? Like, if this is the reason Atlanta comes back or wins this game, you gotta think in your head, why can't we play that to begin with from the start, right?
Definitely.
You don't want to be playing down to your opponents and then having to claw your way back. It may feel like an even better win, but as an offensive player, I just love it when we punch the disc in and we're winning, you know?
Yeah, and I think you can probably chalk it up to that first game jitters, like still really early in the season where this is our first time. This is probably our first time playing against other people other than themselves, which is really exciting. And, you got to figure it out. And I think they're starting to figure it out, which is really cool.
So 8:11 remaining here in the third quarter. Like we said, both teams still kind of really filling each other out. We've been trading shots both ways. No one has really jumped out to a huge lead. So that one plops right at about midfield. Still in the zone look for Atlanta. Inside shot. This one popping. They've got to be careful going this way downwind. It might pop a little bit as you see that disc start to wobble here on these resets. Popping just outside the outreach arms. I believe that was Gustafson who had a D earlier in the first half. So continue to work the disc around.
Torch doing a good job of watching that disc into the hands.
And this shot blading. Just not enough on it. Almost a little bit of side arm flick action on that release there from number 26, Amy Broom.
Typically that tends to happen when you don't get enough rotations, enough spin on the disc. You kind of just winged it out there. You're gonna want to get a little more wrist on that one next time.
And like you were saying, like if that is that blade, the disc tilted a little bit towards the inside. Oh, not able to corral that disc. Then turnover going the other way. I believe that was Hikari not able to handle it. As I said, if you get a little inside IO on that will flatten that disc out, and that'll be money.
That shape, that wrist snap, that's a goal every day.
I believe we have a timeout call. 6:50 remaining here in quarter number 3. 7-6 contest with the Atlanta Soul up over the Austin Torch.
Sure. Adekale, if you are the Torch, coaching staff right now, what are you saying to the team in this timeout?
Right now, short field, right? Our ball.
Definitely.
Let's punch it in. Let's play our game, continue to run our systems. I mean, when you look at this game, we have done such an excellent job defensively and capitalizing on our defense to turn into offense, that counterattack squad, so to say. I mean, let's just play our game, right? You're down 1, punch it in, it's a tie ball game.
I couldn't agree with the handler set they have as well. Clara Stewart back there also looks like it's... Sorry, folks, I'm having trouble seeing the number.
Looks like 66. Ooh. No 66 on the roster. I believe that is Amy Broom, I want to say, in the backfield with Stewart.
Yep, that is Broom.
Garrett.
Aggressive D by Montagna.
What a fake ankle breaking. And a hand drop. Fool me twice. Not
Chloe
going to
Green with
happen.
that hand block right there.
What an opportunity. That's huge. That.
Sorry, Green, after getting the ankles taken a little bit, gets that hand block, and now they're off to the races. They're playing O. Oh, but, just tipping off her hand right there. Couldn't bring it in. Conservation of greatness, like I said earlier.
Amy Broom once again getting in the fray. Broom directing traffic. Needing a reset. Dug up by Stewart.
Great grab.
End line, Stewart. And some contact there in the end zone. Stewart surveying her options, finally gets the around. This one a lot of distance going backwards. The inside shot, too much sauce on it.
A little too much, yeah, just like you were saying, Adekale.
So here we go. Now having to go the full length of the field.
I love a good inside flick break myself, but it's such a touchy throw, especially in the wind. It can be really 50-50.
Trying to get it off the sideline. This is dangerous. Could be a Callahan.
And it is.
Yes, it will be. Totaling the line. Callahan country for the Austin Torch to tie us up at 7 apiece.
And that's that juice moment you were talking about there, Adekale. That is going to propel the Torch forward in the second half.
Huge, huge play when we look back on this game and think of plays that may have decided this contest. That play right there could have been one of those.
Definitely, for sure.
And that's something we talked about, right? Like, I know these players know how to do this, but like on the end line, you've really got to take care of the dice, especially right there. As an offensive player, I know you as well, but like sometimes when you look at it and you have to make a throw across the width of the field on your own end line, it's almost better to just send it down the field.
I completely agree. I'm only hitting things that are 95% or above, and if it's not there, I'm turning and just chucking that.
Especially in this wind, right? Like, that wasn't that high in the air. Anyone of average height would have made a play on that disc because it stayed in the air long enough, you know? So,
yeah, and good on that Torch player for seeing the disc up in the air, saying that's going to be mine, hustling for it, and going and getting that Callahan. Good for them.
Let's get a rolling pull. Looking to stop it. There's Griner. Quincy Booth to pick up. Ford. And around for Kingsley Hart, and that one dropping. You see Ford patting her chest, saying, that's my bad.
Just need a little more spin on that throw, especially in these high wind situations.
That one popping up a little bit, but able to be read. And Kingsley Hart comes up with the block to get the disc back here for Atlanta. Wind starting to pick up. Montagna swung to lift forward. Back to Montagna again. They're working down near sideline. Booth here with the disc.
Love the give and go, the dink and dunk, the bada bing, the bada boom by the Soul right now. Great grab.
Huge grab there for Green. Keep possession alive. Montagna. Green once again grabbing it. This one, a little air bounce, and Ford not able to read that one. A little low for her reach.
I'm not sure I could have caught that one, Adekale. That came in nice and tight.
And a deep shot. This one blading with some OI. Quincy Booth is there the whole way. Griner. Griner in like that one spot in the field where the sun is in her eyes. Ford. Weighing her options, is kind of stuck here. Late stall count. Griner able to secure that disc and rip it out of the sky. And an injury. Let's hope she's all right.
It's a great mark there by Meg Duffy on Liv Ford. Kind of forcing that tough throw. And the torture in a great spot right now.
Leave.
Hey, Lily, it just stopped.
That is, that is Doran. Charlotte Doran. The check in there for Griner. Let's hope Griner is okay. Doran able to get the throw off the green. And Kingsley Hart really setting up her cuts deep. She's an excellent cutter. Really fast, has some wheels on her. Played some summer league with her, and she is one of my favorite targets to throw to. Montana here with the rock.
Heard it.
She's going to elect for the backhand now. In stride, not able to handle it. There is Lily Popovich.
A great throw by Montana. Just kind of bounced in the air as it tends to do.
And that's one of those throws, right? Like Popovich made the initial cut, stopped, then saw the disc was coming up already, and then maybe second doubted if it would get to her and then jumped early.
Yeah, but when you've got, a thrower like Montana, you got to kind of believe that you can put it to you wherever you are.
Ford here on the mark. Near sideline popping up just with enough touch there for Elise Frankie. This one popping up around. Green racing towards it, but dug out there on the end line, and they continue to work it down the field just short of the end line. And punched into the end zone. There is Elise Frankie there for the score. And 8-7, a break there for the Torch.
Break, yeah. Huge break for the Torch there. Long point, both teams battling it out, and the Torch going to be the ones that come up with that one.
So 2:05 remaining here in the third quarter. Torch retake the lead 8-7.
Yeah, like you said, 2:05 left in the quarter, starting to feel a lot like a dogfight. Excited to see who comes out on top. Adekale, what do you think of the Atlanta Soul jerseys this year? The darks, I like them a lot. I love the color scheme.
I do like the color scheme. I think, as someone who is always up here in the booth looking at jersey numbers and watching people pick out and design jerseys, legible numbers, legible names, announcer's favorite thing, actual jerseys. I love them.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of both sides' jerseys. You can really see the numbers, and they're really legible, and I think they got some swag on hand as well.
I feel like you're calling out the college scene a little bit here with their homemade jerseys here, Adekale.
As someone who announces college ultimate, yes, I am that. Folks, get some jerseys with legible numbers. As a disc now with Hikari. Swung back around there to Sanders. Gerald looking for Hikari. Good movement. Bannister. They're going to allow this near sideline, popping back and forth. The Soul want it. They can continue to inch it down the sideline. Gerald in some traffic. Tuna able to swing it off the sideline.
That's what they needed. They needed to get it off that trap, but here they are back into it, and she swings it back out.
And just a little bit more time I think Sanders had there to maybe run onto it as opposed to grab it at the highest point. But that will be a turnover.
Another break chance here for the Torch.
Annie Ortiz to pick up. Torch love to use that width of the field sideline to sideline if they've got it. Garrett, good fake. Back around this one, popping, having to mac it up, but able to read it there is MC Robbins.
Great second chance grab by Robbins.
Now this one floating up for anyone to make a play, and great grab there by Gabby Quina. Robbins. Inside shot, that was beautiful there from Robbins. And that is the buzzer, folks. Still an opportunity. They're going to play the rest of this point out.
Yeah, going to be the last possession here by the Torch. Soul definitely need to stop.
And they're running around ragged. Their heads cut off here in the zone. A floating shot directing traffic. And great job racing back towards it. There is Soju Hikari.
That's how come you kind of want it. You know, you turn the disc over, no chance to score. We just need to get the ball. Great job by Hikari there.
So, 8-7. So we head into the fourth quarter. We're about 2 minutes away from fourth quarter action. Torch are up here over the Atlanta Soul. Matt, fourth quarter. To quote Dick Vitale, fourth quarter is for the PTP, the primetime players. What are you looking forward to here in this fourth, and who do you think is going to stand out to make some noise?
I mean, for both teams, I'm looking for them to lay it all out there. There's going to be nothing after the next 12 minutes. You know, I think for the Soul, definitely Mia Griner, definitely be looking for her to make some insane plays. Quincy Booth to shoot the disc. And for the Torch, I mean, her number's been called all day long. Maggie Roll, number 00 for the Torch. She's been everywhere, subbing in, getting blocks, scoring, assisting. She'll definitely be an impact player in the fourth here.
So 8-7 is your score.
Want to remind you that in the fourth quarter, the final buzzer is going to be a buzzer beater. There will be no last possession. Someone will have to put it up and see if they can bring it down in the end zone. The Discraft Ultra Star is the official disc of the Premier Ultimate League. Discraft, the world leader in disc sports. This live broadcast is brought to you by the Premier Ultimate League. The PUL is a 501c6 nonprofit. This league has been community funded since day one, and we are grateful for the support. We ask that you consider donating to help us continue to transform and fulfill our mission. Head to premierultimateleague.com to donate today.
So once again, if you're just tuning in, 8-7 contest as we are about to enter the fourth quarter. In the booth here with Matt Fazzolano, Amada Ande. Matt, it's coming down to the wire here. Last 12 minutes. Who wants it more?
You know, I'm excited to see Torch going to receive right here. A great chance to go up, kind of 9-7. And for the Soul, it's a must break here. Got to get the disc back. Got to find the end zone. Looks like they've got a good squad out there right now. Mia Griner, Charlotte Doran, Morgan Lally. These are the people that you want on the field. Those impact players we've talked about all game.
So starting off on D, like you said, Soul trying to make some noise and tie this one back up. Torch, benefit of the doubt here on O. Something they haven't really seen much here today, offensively speaking. They've got generated a majority of their points from breaks.
And like you said, that's how you win games. You got to break to win, and they've been doing it. Still a tight game here, though.
Broom. Atlanta back in a matchup defense. This one floating. Racing toward is Jasky. Able to get the block. Harn. Trying to direct traffic. Doran. Back to Harn. The lefty and around to Doran on the up line. Good fake from Doran. And underneath, and that one popping last minute. That was nasty.
A great bit by Griner, but that one came in real hot. Hard to grab that one.
Griner has just been hitting the deck all day today making plays, but I don't even blame her on that one. That one had some vicious pop. Garrett That's been a fun matchup here today, Garrett and Harn. See Lally there on the mark. A shot put down the line, racing inbounds, and that was an ambitious shot, but it looked pretty good going down the same sideline.
Yeah, I just don't think it came back in a way to where she could, pull it in and keep her feet in at the same time. Soul coming back down the field with another chance to break. They're definitely going to want this one after getting so close just a minute ago.
And I wonder if it did come back in, they would usually be able to move that back down, but I guess it did initially come back in, so they'll keep possession down there on the field. Oh, that's a tough one. I know Morgan wants that back. Just needing to step out a little bit more on that up line there for Greiner.
Definitely. On those easy throws, you feel like I can just throw it, don't need to move my legs. Sometimes you got to get that power by stepping forward, stepping out, getting it to him.
And they're telling, I believe, Stewart to back up a little bit to where the disc went, or turfed. Stewart surveying. Trying to strike up line. And a deep shot put up into space. Looking and racing back towards it. Denial there from Lally. It's a no-fly zone.
Great D after just turning it over, getting the disc back for her team. And another chance to break.
And that's the one thing about having played with Morgan before, Morgan Lally. If she makes a mistake, she usually goes and gets the disc back. So front corner on their own end zone. So looking to work Montana. Racing back deep there is Jasky. Montana is doubled there on that sideline. Doran trying to step through. This one floating. Harn able to handle it. Oh. And that's a tough one there. Not even a strip, just a pump fake, and it slipped out of her hands. I know she wants that one back.
Call that an exploder here, folks. Just kind of a lot of energy. Let go at the wrong time, just kind of shoots off.
And I've been there before. Someone who likes to throw fakes. It is not a fun feeling to watch that disc fly out of your hands. Garrett. Close mark there from Harn. Back around. Broom. Broom having trouble. And that was blocked just a little bit there by Doran. I believe an injury.
Looks like an injury called by Harn of the Atlanta Soul. Let's see who they bring in.
And a timeout here by, I believe, the Soul. So 8-7. Very long point. Almost about a little over 3.5 minutes have gone by so far in this fourth quarter. Is this kind of what you expected, Matt, or are you looking for something a little bit different coming down the stretch?
Fourth quarter I expected, a little bit tighter offense. The wind is definitely continuing to pick up, and of course those nerves of it becoming crunch time are definitely affecting these players.
This live broadcast of the Premier Ultimate League is brought to you by Breakmark Ultimate Apparel. Go to breakmark.com to place your next custom team order or check out the PUL Athlete Collab shops. Yeah, Matt, and this one, kind of decided I'm looking for someone to risk it for the biscuit, right? You've got to kind of take a look at those deep shots or maybe elect to play something or try something different here in this stretch, right? Like I said, if you really want this game, want this this win to start off the PUL season, you've got to lay it on the line.
Completely agree, and I think Quincy Booth might be exactly who we need, or that the Soul need, to take that deep shot and really open things up.
Miss Gerald racing back deep. Hawkins, glad to see that she's back and all right. This one, and Montana able to make the play.
Great job keeping her head up, always looking at the disc, and saving it right there.
Quincy Booth is filthy there on those upline cuts, able to shake loose. Montana. The Lally out to Booth. Inside, Red continuing. Across the middle, Montana floating it up. Hawkins is racing towards it. Great block and denial. I believe the defense there by Sharu Liu. And a foul, I believe, is called.
Looks like it's on the throw. Montana's saying, she didn't mean for it to pop up like that. and that there was a little bit of contact that she didn't appreciate.
And that's one of the fun things about this sport, right? Like if you're watching for the first time, I mean, self-officiated, you call your own fouls, you're able to kind of arbitrarily talk about what happened there on the field and give your perspective on the play.
Looks like the foul's going to be contested by the Torch player. It means it's going to stay with Montagna. So the Soul have another chance to punch it in for that break.
Montagna looking for a reset. And this is Georgia Say. Booth. Lally trying to streak across the front line. Booth and around looking for Gerald. And she's able to toe the end zone for the score. We're tied up at 8 apiece.
Yeah, with Booth being that range and that reach that she has, she can just put something over the head of her defender anywhere she wants, really. And Gerald doing a great job coming to the front cone, saying that is my cone.
And, just can't speak enough about Quincy Booth. I love to watch her play on this field, and I know she's got to be an incredible goaltee and mini player.
For sure. I went to the University of Georgia, played a lot of goaltee with her in the Athens goaltee community, and still, I believe she's just a junior at the University of Georgia playing for Georgia Athena. Really carries that team and does her best with them every year.
Once again, if you are enjoying this broadcast and you're loving listening to Matt and I here in the booth, make sure you check out our Atlanta live streams here. They're entirely self-produced. And if you want to continue to see the stream for free, make sure you donate at atlantasoulultimate.com.
So here we are, tied up, back at 8-8, 7:14 left in the fourth. Torch to receive, Mia Greiner on the pull.
High arcing pull there from Greiner. Land inbounds. Stewart to pick up. Back in that zone, defensive look here for the Soul. Swung to this near sideline. Broom to Stewart. Able to dig that one up. Wilson back to Stewart. This one floating, racing back towards a great job by Gabby Quina. Back to Broom. And electing to go backwards, nothing really to throw towards the middle there of that cup until that throw. Far sideline, looking to run.
Looks like Soul are still in this 3-3-1 style zone that they've been kind of running all game. Lots of communication from the wings to the person in the middle, trying to make sure that all the looks are taken.
And to Broom. Back to Stewart.
Torch handler's looking comfortable, just swinging the disc back and forth.
They've got that all day. They've got the underneath swings. Now looking to get some momentum. Garrett. Directing traffic, saying she needs a popper there in that space. And looks like Atlanta in a matchup defense now. And Greiner able to get the block. Up ahead to Bannister. And a timeout there by Atlanta looking to talk things over. And that was a long and grueling defensive point. Looking to take the lead with 5:31 remaining here in this contest.
Definitely. There's something to be said about letting your team try and fast break, but it looks like it was getting a little stifled, so I love the timeout call there by the Atlanta
And you can get
staff.
some fresh legs, get that kill line, really capitalize here on this point, and perhaps retake the lead.
For sure. If you are the Atlanta coaches at Akale, who are you putting out there?
Ooh, that is a tough question. On offense, with the wind in your hands, I'm looking at to get my, your shooters, your gunners, who can really set and put that disc out there and continue to work the disc. So I'm looking for possibly, let's see, Doran getting out there, Quincy Booth, lift forward. I might put Greiner back out there. Hikari has had the hot hand, Lally, and Montagna. And I'm bad at math, but I believe that is 6. Probably, give or take, maybe Green or Hawkins.
Looks like that might be the exact group is out here. Looks like Kingsley Hart jumping in for one of your picks, but she's kind of had the hot hand all day as well.
Booth up the line here for Ford. Booth really wants to, Ford wants to send it deep, but not getting it. And too strong is Quincy Booth. She puts one up in the area there for Montana. Not able to read it, but Popovich is, just like they drew it up. 9-8 Atlanta Soul.
That's exactly what we wanted to see out of Kale. Quincy Booth, the lefty, throwing the big flick hook, looking for Montana, and then Popovich coming to clean it up.
Booth, a little bit of the LeBron shrug after getting the defender off of her right there and sending that deep shot down the field. And Montana doing a good job of trying to play the disc, but Popovich on the cleanup.
Booth is certainly making her mark on this game, turning in a nice body of work.
So 5:12 remaining, 9-8 contest. Atlanta Soul able to retake the lead.
Once again, that juice moment that you've been talking about all game out of Kale, coming from Quincy Booth. Her number was called. She goes out there, performs.
That's huge, much needed right now if you're Atlanta. Now you got to continue to ride that momentum wave and continue to add on to your lead here. You can ill afford to kind of sit back and cruise.
Looks like a slightly similar line. We're seeing Green, Montana, Doran, Popovich out there again.
Montana electing for a roller. Will stay shape and stay in bounds.
Wind there, kind of keeping it from rolling out.
And the wind's starting to pick up now. Throwers have got to be aware.
In a wind like this, you want to get low, you want to snap your wrist and drive those throws to your target.
Stewart. And this one plopped up, but Broom able to handle it. Stepping through. Able to find Kinsey Knees. Knees denied by Morgan Lally, leaving her impact on the game.
That was cold out of Kale. That was cold.
And a deep shot put up down the field. Montana, a couple of black jerseys in the area. Montana, and one. Count it. 2-point advantage here for the Atlanta Soul.
Incredible grab, incredible second effort. Huge last 2 minutes by the Atlanta Soul.
And that is what you've wanted this whole game if you're an Atlanta Soul fan. A big-time play there by Morgan Lally to get the run and the counterattack going, and then the deep shot able to find Montana there in the end zone.
Yeah, great throw by Green. Lots of black jerseys in the area.
So a 2-point advantage. We've talked about, right? Heavyweight fight. Boxing, UFC, whatever you want to call it. A couple of jabs thrown at the Atlanta Soul early on. You know, looking at it, looking to bob and weave. Coming back into it, a 1-point ball game. Now they're up 2 here in the fourth. Under 5 minutes to play.
Yeah, Soul is bringing the haymakers right now. They're looking for that knockout shot. Under 5 minutes, just like you said. If you're a Soul fan, you feel great about their chances in this one.
So 4:22 remaining here in the contest. Once again, hope you are on the edge of your seat. Wherever you're watching, make sure you get that snack and that beverage for this last 4 minutes. It's about to be a ride. Torch with possession now. This one just barely kept alive there by Ortiz. So in the thick of their zone look. Big swing around, handled there by Quina.
The Soul zone, forcing them to lose yardage. That's what you want to do. You want them to touch the disc a lot of passes, hoping that they doink one.
Stewart. Back to Queenon. Robbins. Now Rowell. Back to Robbins. And Torch. They're going to like to throw it back and forth amongst these handlers. Doesn't matter if it takes 40 throws, 50 throws, 5 throws. They're comfortable. Robbins to Stewart. So far, nothing down the field. Back around here to Ortiz.
Just about 3 minutes left in this game.
And if I'm the Torch, you've got to get going now, right? You've got a short amount of time. You're under 3 minutes left to play. And oh my goodness, what a play! No regard for human life right there by Anna Gustafsson.
Huge block by Gustafsson. Another break chance for the Soul.
Hikari with the rock around to Doran. Back to Hikari.
Torch playing really physical defense right now. They want this disc back bad.
Doran. Across the Ford. If I'm Atlanta, Matt, you almost can elect to dribble this one out, you know? No shot clock. Just kind of move the disc around. You're almost under 2 minutes.
Fortunately, we see a turnover here. Would love to see a little more dribbling, like you said, but now they're back on D.
Austin, it's got to be now or never for them. They've got to punch it in, and Robbins is looking to do that here. Racing towards the back of the end zone, just not able to get it. Emma Berrigan wants that back. Good defense by Hikari.
Yeah, looks like Hikari didn't get a hand on it, but the intimidation of her being in the area, the intimidity as we call it, having her come away with the block.
So we approach a 1:30 remaining here in this contest. Like I was saying earlier, Atlanta can just dribble this one, get it out from your own end zone, and kind of march the disc down the field methodically.
Yeah, if I'm Atlanta here, I'm hitting open shots, nothing scary, easy stuff. Let's just hold the disc.
Ford with the disc. Back to Doran. So we're approaching 1 minute to play. Ford will shoot down for Hikari. Hikari not able to make that bid. Does an excellent job of laying out for the disc, not able to get it.
Yeah, Hikari trying to get that trailing edge, really tough grab. Looks like there's a timeout called by the Torch.
It's much needed timeout. 1 minute left to play, right? You've got to think, if you're the Torch here, you've got to be able to punch it in in about 20 to 30 seconds tops. And then you've got to go play D again.
Got to find the end zone quick. Got to get out there, play D. And like we said, fourth quarter is a buzzer beater quarter. Will not finish the possession when that clock goes off. That's going to be it. So if I'm the Torch, I'm lighting a fire under my players. We got to get out there and go.
And look for them to kind of perhaps maybe get one underneath or quick power position shot and then go down the field. You've got to score here within 20 to 30 seconds to make it a game, make a chance for you to come back or tie the game.
Really want to commend both these teams. It has been that heavyweight fight that we have been talking about all game long. Really amazing stuff. A great start to the beginning of the PUL season.
Once again, thanks for staying tuned wherever you're watching this. We appreciate you. Make sure to continue to check out Atlanta Soul broadcasts all throughout the season. And I mean, Matt, what a thriller for you to have as your first game calling, broadcasting, doing some color. I mean, what are your thoughts so far? It's been a great contest.
Yeah, I mean, I can't agree more. I was a little nervous here, folks, but I'm feeling great. It's been a great time. Thanks to Adekale and the Soul for having me out. Let's get back to the action.
Oh, almost a beautiful toe line extension grab there from Jamie Estes. So a turnover. We're under 50 seconds left to play here in this one. Green here with the rock for the Atlanta Soul. Into Montana. Back to Montana. She's getting every other. Montana needing a reset, an outlet. Working it down the line. Jasky with the rock. Continuing. Lally, front of the end zone. Up ahead to Doran. And that might be the dagger, folks. With under 30 seconds to play, the Atlanta Soul are up 11-8.
Couldn't agree more. Most likely the nail in the coffin here for the Atlanta Soul. Or for the Austin Torch.
So 3-point contest. 29.8 seconds. Honestly, although I may say it's not over, crazier things have happened in the game of Ultimate. Would take a lot to overcome this kind of lead that the Atlanta Soul has, but it's not impossible.
If I'm a Soul player, I'm feeling good about our first win, but you never know. Somebody gets hand block, a quick score, another one of those.
Callahan.
Definitely. 30 seconds to go, though. I think this might be all she wrote, folks.
So one last opportunity to possibly get this Torch O-line in this opening weekend contest here at Agnes Scott College. Deep pull. It's going to roll. And you got to go now if you're the Torch. For approaching 25 seconds. You've just got to send it down the field.
Loves his own look by the Soul.
Down the field. They got to go now. Approaching 15 seconds. As they continue to work up the field. Good movement. Lou. Left-handed backhand. Duck up. Oh, wow. Just down.
Really thought she had that one out of Kale.
Very close. And that, excuse me, I believe there may have been a little bit of time there after that turn, maybe 3 or 4 seconds. So 3 seconds. Disc is going to be here with Booth, and she can just hold it. And that's the game, folks, as the Atlanta Soul come out on top. 11-8 here of the Austin Torch, and they open up opening weekend here with the dub.
Yeah, huge win for the Atlanta Soul. You know, their record last year, not stellar, only winning 1 game all of last season. First game of the 2025 PUL season, they come away with a win against the Austin Torch. Great momentum for the Atlanta Soul to take into this season.
Just a great game. I mean, we couldn't really ask for much more here in this one. A great contest between both sides. Both teams really battling in this one, going back and forth. And like you said, Atlanta just coming out on top in this one, 11-8. Any kind of game ball or player of the game you want to give a shout out to? Someone that really stood out to you here for either side or just for Atlanta?
Great question. I think for Atlanta, I'm going to give 2. I think one's got to go to the defense of, Anna Gustafsson there at the end. That was that spark, that juice moment that the Soul needed really to put this away. And then, offensively, Quincy Booth was all over the place. The Hucks, the D, really impressive stuff by Booth. And for the Torch, they have a lot of good things to take away from this game. They started really, really strong. Like we've been talking all game, Maggie Roll, Sarah Downing, Clara Stewart, that handler group they've got in the backfield is going to be, a force to be reckoned with kind of all season long. And I expect, they have a good chance of getting back to where they were last season, and if they can build upon the things that they can learn from in this game.
So the final in this one, the Atlanta Soul win and open up the season with a W, 11-8 here over the Austin Torch. On behalf of Matt Fazzolero, I'm on to Kaliande, and we say so long here from Decatur, Georgia, here on the campus of Agnes Scott College.